This is the only pier for the prison on the island. This is the last line of defense guarded by those who died in the line of duty. Dad, why can't I see you more than a few times a month? At this point, Dad would always stroke my head and explain, Dad is a prison guard. I have to keep an eye on the illegal spirits and prevent them from harming people. Xiao Fong didn't understand. Wasn't family important? Faced with my questioning, Dad would always look troubled. Of course they're important, he would say. Finally, for the sake of justice, after the apocalypse broke out, he resolutely went to Devil's Island as well. Until Duan Fei discovered that Devil's Island was filled with the fallen figures of those who died in the line of duty. Mobilized, determined not to let the zombies set foot here. At that moment, all the soldiers at the shelter assembled urgently. It turned out that after talking with Commander Zhou of Yanhuang about Duan Fei, the second thing they discussed was Yanhuang. They had discovered the zombie stronghold and hoped that humanity would unite to launch an eradication plan. Hearing this, Luo Yang was speechless, but he had already considered it. He apologized for the late assembly. In the 2 months since the apocalypse began, the loss of cities and the increasing number of people losing their abilities had plunged them into a huge crisis. Now that they had found the zombie headquarters stronghold, they decided to gather all human strength to wipe them out. This time, they would take the initiative and reclaim their original lives. After class, she changed her mind. Brother Duan, I want to continue with you. Dad's notebook recorded that the most terrifying criminals in the deepest part of the prison, who were guarding his team, might all be trapped inside. The key to opening the final gate was here. Then, everyone went to the outermost gate only to find a meteorite crater. This was the landing site of the original species, and the reason for Alcatraz's mutation. Even so, the prison gate was not destroyed, truly worthy of being the world's most fortified prison. But then, a scythe suddenly descended, striking Duan Fei squarely in the bullseye. A roguish, white-haired zombie stood on the seemingly useless city wall, a grin on his face. The smoke has no harm principle applied. Duan Fei's team was unharmed. Xiao Fong discovered in her father's prison guard notes that number 21 had heard of Devil's Island. Many experts had surrendered and come here to challenge others. At that moment, Duan Fei, gripping the scythe tightly, looked more like the Grim Reaper. But the next instant, number 21's body emitted a burst of light, triggering his A-level thunder ability. The lightning flowed backward through the chains. The instant Duan Fei swung the scythe, a muffled thunderclap exploded in the sky. Number 21, however, looked annoyed. This human's posture is even more pretentious than mine. He seems very strong. How about a life-or-death duel? 2 scythes, like lightning, hurtled towards Duan Fei, but their aim seemed to pierce the ground behind him. Then, the scythe retreated, pulling Duan Fei along with it, while number 21 charged towards Duan Fei with lightning speed. Duan Fei grew increasingly excited. This zombie seemed to have developed a high degree of self-awareness, perhaps the strongest zombie he had encountered so far besides the native species. Did you kill him? The doc's warning sounded. I'm not interested in trash, he thought, facing despair. Human. Perhaps this guy was the first hurdle to overcome inside the prison, proving that the native species had already taken control of the zombies on Devil's Island. But unlike taming, it felt like he'd been given some kind of psychological manipulation. This level of attack won't hurt you. The crater created by the dagger began to spread with the power of lightning. Number 21 threw the dagger back, initiating the second round of 8 consecutive strikes. The instant the dagger clashed, sparks and lightning mingled. In a mere second, the 4 weapons had already collided dozens of times, and 2 dual-wielded weapons were simultaneously knocked away by the opponent. In reality, Duan Fei had reduced all his attribute output by half, solely to better hone his skills. Next came the contest of physical strength. As expected, these zombies, exposed to the original species' radiation, were stronger. A deafening explosion erupted between them. Was it over? Of course not. Duan Fei easily dodged the unexpected punch. Then, dozens of blows followed, both of them being thrown back by the recoil. Duan Fei caught his dual daggers and asked, Do you want to feel the true aura of death?